Now, I don't want to hear anyone say shit about what I am wearing currently, okay? It's been a day. Michael Giacchino is one of the best film composers to ever grace our screens, and I am so sure about this fact that I will die on this hill. I will die on this Microsoft hill. Every score he's ever created has this feeling of playfulness and curiosity, but it's always completely unique to each other. Like, you could go from watching like something like Lost to fucking Ratatouille, and you like, there's tiny indicators that point to it being Giacchino, but like, not so obvious that you like know. Like, they're so unique from each other. It's crazy. I don't know how he fucking does it, but I'm willing to try and find out, and that's what I'm doing here. I'm gonna yell at you for an hour and a half to try and explain my process to you. Michael Giacchino was born on the 10th of October 1967. He showed a lot of liking towards film and film media at the early age of 9, which is when he first made his 8mm movie. He would often put images together, he would like make his own little films, he would compose for his own films as well. At 9, bro, come on, Jesus. When he went through high school, he showed a lot of talent for art, to the point where when he graduated high school, his teachers recommended to him and his parents that he go to the School of Visual Arts. Is that what it's called? Hang on. Yep, the School of Visual Arts. Capital letters, baby. He went there and he majored in film production, and he graduated in 1990 with a Bachelor of the Fine Arts. After that, he decided to go, I don't know how to pronounce the name of this school, but it's spelled Juilliard. He went there and he studied music, and then he also went to UCLA to study music. So he did that for a few years, and during that time he got the opportunity to intern for Universal Pictures. He did that for 6 months, and he would do his intern work during the night, and then during the day he would work at a Macy's so that he could pay rent, which means nothing to me because I'm Australian. I don't know what a Macy's is or what it does. Once graduated from university, he ended up working back at Universal Pictures in publicity. He worked there for a while, and then to the point again when he got hired from Disney to also work in publicity, which he did for 4 to 5 years.
Disney publicity.
I worked in publicity, yeah, so before video games.
So that was your like first kind of.
My first job out of college was working in publicity at Universal Pictures.
At Universal,
yeah.
Okay.
And then I was there, and then I got hired across the street by Disney.
Yeah.
And this was in New York City still at the time, in their publicity department. Started working there, and then they moved me out to LA. So I was in publicity, I don't know, 4 years, 5 years, something like that. Wow. And then before making the jump to video games and then into all the craziness that came after.
But he said it was really good because he got to learn a lot of how the film works in the background and how that would translate to how he would write music for a film. Giacchino actually got his first big break in the video game industry, which was something I did not know prior to this. He was working on a lot of different scores for different video games, I think for DreamWorks. Before he got his, like, the one I'm gonna talk about, here are some other games that he wrote. So Disney's Gargoyles, Disney's Gargoyles, Donald, and I'll put it on the screen. It's on the screen. Read it for yourself. But his first big break was for the DreamWorks video game adaptation of the 1997 movie The Lost World Jurassic Park. That score that he wrote for that game was a really big deal because back then, video games didn't have live orchestras. Like, that wasn't a thing that you got for video games, so there wasn't like, that was a big deal. It was a big deal. Apparently he was working for like a bunch of different areas for DreamWorks, like he was on a bunch of different projects and games, and when he would do that, he would play around with different music.
Hello, editing Brooke. I'm just here to make fun of myself because fucking music?
Like he would write different music for different things to be like, hey, how would this sound? How would this sound for that and that and that? And apparently, none other than the wonderful, the whimsical Steven Spielberg, he got his hands on one of the nuggets of music that fucking Giacchino made, and he was like, yo, this shit's bussin'. I'm obviously paraphrasing, but he was basically like, yo, this shit bussin', let's get a live orchestra, in which they did. I was working for DreamWorks and Spielberg gave me my big break. He said, we need a live orchestra for this. At the time, that wasn't something you got with video games. Other video games that he wrote for include, sorry, that was very schoolgirl, I'm doing a presentation voice, Jesus Christ. By the time it was 2001, all of his hard work paid off because he was able to land a gig for a television score called Elias, I believe?
I'd like everyone to know.
Hi.
Lee's here, and I'm making Lee watch the video because I need other eyes, and then they just pause it and they're like, do you know how to pronounce that word? And I'm like, no! Clearly not! How do you say it? How do you say it, Lee?
Well, I think it's the word that I'm looking at. Otherwise, I'm also gonna look like
Well, what do
not
you-
very
say
smart.
it,
But
say it.
it's alias.
Well, that's dumb. That's not
It
phonetically
is very
correct.
dumb.
Followed by that, he obviously, this is what he's more known for. He got a gig for writing the score for Lost and a bunch of others. One of which is arguably one of the best pieces of music and or media that I have ever heard and or seen and or had gotten the pleasure of experiencing. Up. We're talking about Up. So when you're writing a film score, obviously take everything I say with a grain of salt because I'm trying to, actually no, I'm not even going to give you a fuck, just kind of like, don't take what I say with a grain of salt, take it all, take it without any seasoning. When you're writing a film score, there's a few important rules that you kind of have to stick to. So there's themes and there's motifs, and you have to have them represent an idea or a character. But they gotta be fun. Like you need a hook line so that people are hooked, which your example for that would be Married Life. Like that's bussin'. It's good. It's a butt. It's gonna be latched in your brain for the rest of your waking, breathing life, which is correct, because here I am, fucking 10 years later, still thinking about that shit. When you do these themes...
Hi, this is, Editing Brooke. I'm just gonna do a quick little voiceover because this bitch on screen, I don't know what was wrong with her, but I just was completely unable to convey what I was trying to say during this, so I'm just gonna take over for her, because you know, she needs a break. She's been carrying the team for a little bit. I'll just take over quickly, you know, it's fine. What I was trying to say here is a lot of people aren't gonna be paying attention to the score, but our brains work in a way where they're wired to pick up on different patterns. So, if you hear this one tune, every time this one character shows up on the screen, multiple times throughout the film, then your brain is eventually gonna start associating that tune with that character. So even if it's unconsciously, every time you hear that little tune, oh, it's this person. Oh, that's this idea. It's this guy. That guy's about to pop up because it's his theme.
A good example of this is Daniel Burton in the second Across the Spider-Verse. At the very end, spoilers, at the very end when we meet Miles 42, you can actually hear Miles' normal theme mixed with the theme of the Prowler. So though you don't know who's about to pop down, you have some idea. So that's a really good example onto how you can use those themes and motifs to your advantage when writing for a film score. So, I have tried to, I have a piano, and I have a TV sitting on top of the piano, and I sat at my piano while watching Up, and I've tried to break down where all of these motifs and themes pop up and what he's done for the Up score, because holy fucking shit, there's so much shit, Jesus Christ. So Married Life, as to what I can gather, was the theme of curiosity and adventure. That pops up every time they're doing something that either one, is alluded that Ellie wanted to do, or two, it's something that they wouldn't have expected they would do. It's an adventure, it's curiosity, it's we don't know what we're dealing with, but we're just gonna fucking send it. Something very similar to the Married Life score is probably where people are gonna get confused. So Ellie's theme. Ellie's theme is the same as Married Life, but it's just piano. It's just a singular piano by itself, that's all you can hear, but it's the same song. So when it's Married Life, that's got your horns and your flutes, that's your adventure theme, that's your curiosity theme. And then Ellie's theme is that song with the piano. Ellie's theme is just Married Life with the piano. Fuck, I'm gonna keep saying it out, piano. Ellie's theme is piano by itself. But it is the same as Married Life because it stems from her. We hear Married Life the first time when we meet her because she is that source of adventure for Fredrickson as a kid and as he grows up. And then there's Russell's theme.
Hello, it's me again, because apparently I can't talk. I don't know what you want from me. I'm not used to filming videos like this where I actually have to sound smart. So the first time we ever hear Russell's motif is when he's knocking on the door at the start of the movie and he's like, good afternoon. That's the first time we ever hear it. And then it comes back when, one, he's exploring the house, like Carl's let him in because they're in the middle of the f***ing air. You hear it when they're walking the house to Paradise Falls, and you hear it when you meet Doug and Kevin, which, for those scenarios specifically, represents to me just mild irritation. Because at this point, Russell is an inconvenience to Carl, because all Carl wants to do is just get his house to Paradise Falls and die alone. So it's just inconvenience. So that's why all of them share that score, because it's like, I would really rather not have to deal with you.
I am nobody's master, got it? I don't want you here, and I don't want you here. I'm sorry.
But the reason why it's all three of them, it's kind of because Carl just doesn't really give a shit. It's like they're all annoying, and Russell was the first stroke of annoyance. He was the first bump in the road, so that's why it's all three of them, which I think is really cool. You hear a score in the track called Walk in the House, Kevin Beacon, and you hear it again in the campfire scene. It comes back again in the small mailman Retuens, and it's so cool. Like, he's jazzed it up so much, and it just sounds awesome because it's when he's trying to get the bird back, and it's just like Russell really coming into his own, and he's taken back that score. So it's like really vibrant, it's really like high energy, and it's like da-dun, 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 da-dun. Like, he's out of fucks to give, and he's getting that damn bird back, and I love it. And then we have what is called the oh shit theme. So for the oh shit theme, god fucking damn it, this is the point of where my notes don't make any fucking sense. There's A flat, there's A sharp, A flat is the one that's down, A sharp is the one that's up. Okay. So for the dog themes, you hear a lot, it's A, then A flat, and then G, and it's over and over again, and it's like it's like a whole thing, and then there's like D minus, and then D, and then that, it's like a lot of it's like, there's a lot of those, and that will change depending, because that can go from the D to the D flat, or it can go from E to G, or to E to C, and or A sharp, B. There's a lot to work with right now. Upon watching the movie, you realize that everything is connected and derives from each other. For example, Married Life, though it having a few key differences, it sounds very similar to Up with Titles, because Up with Titles is the theme for the spirit of adventure, which is something that both Ellie and Carl were really passionate about, and it was something that they were able to bond over when they first met. So yeah, they sound really similar, but Titles represents more Carl's interpretation of adventure. It represents Carl's idea of what an adventure should kind of sound like, I guess you could say. Because Married Life, though it is the theme of Ellie and Carl originally, it basically is their cover of the real adventure theme. They have come to the understanding of they think they know what an adventure should be like, and that's what that sound is, that's what Spirit of Adventure is. And then they meet each other, and then that becomes the real adventure theme, because it's their theme. It represents them and their adventure. Keeping all this in mind, that makes it even cooler, because when you have the Spirit of Adventure theme, for Carl, it is the original idea of adventure. He holds Munz and who he is and what he achieved on such a high pedestal, so that theme at the start coming back, like that original theme is so like, it's uplifting, it's jazzy, it's fun. And the way Michael Giacchino has just turned it into the most menacing, cool, fucking villain theme I have ever heard, it's so fucking cool, dude. Married Life is pretty much the entire lifeblood of the entire score. Like, it is connected to everything. It drizzles into every other score that plays in the entire track. Which is why it's so cool, because at the end of the movie, where you have all of these minor motifs that have been sprinkled throughout the film, like the dog theme, or the 52 pickup. I don't know how to say the word in between 52 and pickup, so you can fucking figure out that shit yourself. I'm not even gonna try. Or Walk in the House. Even Walk in the House. All of these little minor motifs that have been shot all throughout the film that represent fear, the unknown, and danger, all at the end end up mixing with Married Life. So instead, these themes and ideas from being separate, things he's trying to avoid, they all become one entity. Yes, there's fear, yes, there's danger, yes, they're going into the unknown, but Carl is doing so without hesitation. He's having an adventure. My conclusion is Michael Giacchino is one of the best fucking film composers that ever breathed, that ever wrote, that ever lived. He puts a lot of care and effort into his scores. I think anyone who wants to be a film composer or just wants to understand it, you need to do a deep dive on everything he has written, because holy fucking shit! Thank you for watching my video. I hope it was coherent enough. I'm a little out of sorts at the moment. I'm kind of tired, so. Ideas being separate, they become one entity. No, I'm gonna just. I'm back again to fix my mistakes. So, instead of these themes at the...
And that motif, I've written down here apparently.
Music.
Yes, there's fear. Yes, there's danger. But, fuck me.
Ukulele. Oh, cool.
It's Alias.